Sensex ends 375 points lower, Nifty at 25,111 IT. Banks drag Sensex today. Indian equity benchmarks closed in the red on Thursday amid a cautious mood triggered by a muted start to the June quarter earnings season and lingering uncertainty over U.S.-India trade relations following recent remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump. Additionally, volatility remained elevated due to the weekly expiry of Nifty 50FO contracts. The BSE Sensex declined 375.24 points, or 0.45, to close at 82,259.24, while the NSE Nifty slipped 100.6 points, or 0.4, to end at 25,111.45. In the broader market, the Nifty midcap and small cap indices lost 0.27 and 0.18, respectively. Among sectors, IT bore the brunt of the selling pressure, with the Nifty IT index sliding 1.39. Stocks like LTI Mindtree, Tech Mahindra, Persistent Systems, Infosys, Wipro, Mphasis, Coforge, and HCL Tech dropped over 1 each. Other sectors that ended in the red included Nifty Bank, Auto, Financial Services, Media, and Oil Gas. On the flip side, Nifty Realty stood out with a gain of 1.24, followed by gains in metal, consumer durable, FMCG, energy, and pharma indices. Within the Sensex pack, 22 of the 30 constituents ended lower. Tech Mahindra, Infosys, HCL Tech, Eternal Zomato, LT, and TCS were among the top losers, shedding up to 2.8. On the upside, Tata Steel, Trent, Titan, Tata Motors, Ultratech Cement, and Sun Pharma were the leading gainers. Meanwhile, the India VIX, a measure of market volatility, edged up 0.02 to close at 11.24. Global cues. In global markets, sentiment remained mixed as Asian investors reacted to weak trade data from Japan and renewed geopolitical uncertainty driven by comments from former U.S. President Donald Trump. Japan's exports shrank 0.5 year-on-year in June, contrary to expectations of a similar rise, marking a second consecutive month of contraction. Exports to China declined 4.7, while shipments to the U.S. fell 11.4, reflecting sustained weakness in global demand. Markets were also unsettled by Trump's contradictory statements regarding Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. While Trump told reporters that he had no immediate plans to remove Powell, he added, "I don't rule out anything," following earlier reports suggesting the opposite. He further escalated trade tensions by reiterating plans to impose a 25% tariff on Japanese imports, dimming hopes for a near-term U.S.-Japan trade agreement. Asian markets reacted cautiously to these developments. Japan's Nikkei 225 slipped 0.46, South Korea's Kospi declined 0.79, and topics remained flat. Australia's ASX 200 stood out with a 0.54 gain, offering a rare bright spot in the region. Swipe left for next video. Meanwhile, U.S. equity futures edged lower in early Asian trade. S&P 500 futures dropped 0.17, Nasdaq 100 futures fell 0.18, and Dow futures were down by nearly 80 points or 0.18. This comes after a volatile session on Wall Street on Wednesday that ended with modest gains. The S&P 500 rose 0.32 to 6,263.70. The Dow Jones gained 231.49 points, 0.53, to settle at 44,254.78, and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.26, ending at a record 20,730.49 for the ninth straight session. Looking ahead, investors will closely monitor key data releases including U.S. June retail sales, trade figures, and weekly jobless claims for the period ended July 12. In the Eurozone, focus will be on June inflation and core inflation data, which are expected to provide further direction to the global risk appetite. Latest blogs.